What's up and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at a really cool puzzle by Legends and Lore. It is a puzzle box that comes complete with an audio file that you must listen to for clues. There are two puzzles here. We're going to be doing one. If this video hits 15,000 likes, we'll do the other. So up to you really if you want to see the next one, but watch this one first and then decide. Also, quick note, I posted a documentary of my time in Spain hanging with 20 of some of the most incredibly talented magicians on planet Earth. The video is underperforming. It's probably my fault. I'm bad at thumbnails. But you guys can check it out. It is a tremendous insight into magic. Lots of advice if you're getting into magic. Tons of visual effects and my journey as well in Spain throughout that week. So if you guys are so inclined, check that out. And before we get into the video, one last thing. This video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. This is a magic spoon. See how it bends on its own? You can even watch as it slowly starts to bend. But this is so, they wanted me to eat this on camera, but how am I supposed to talk about the product while I'm eating it? Thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video. It was good though. This is a Magic Spoon. For those of you that don't know, Magic Spoon is a delicious and fueling cereal. Breakfast for me has always been a little sacred ritual for my mornings, but I'm used to eating flavorless, bland cereal because I can't handle all the sugar until these guys came along. Having no sugar in my cereal is vital. Comes complete with 13 grams of protein. So for those of you in the morning who are looking to have a breakfast that'll last them throughout their workout, I mean, this is it right here. It comes in a variety of flavors. There's like peanut butter, there's chocolate. My favorite here, which is fruity, really delicious. Should I eat some more on camera so they know how much I like it? Check this out. High protein, keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, wheat free, naturally flavored. I mean, what more do you want? If you're looking for something that tastes delicious and gives you those essential proteins that you're looking for your morning, look no further. So use my code Ramsay to get $5 off your delicious Magic Spoon cereal order at magicspoon.com/Ramsay. Again, use promo code Ramsay, RAMSAY, to get $5 off this delicious cereal. Back to the video. I gotta finish this. So let's get into solving the Bell Witch hauntings. Look at that. Cabinet of Curiosities. Isn't that also the name of Guillermo del Toro's Netflix thing? So as I mentioned, there are two puzzles. We're going to be doing one of them today, which is the Bell Witch haunting, okay? And what's really interesting about this puzzle, which is the reason I wanted to review it, it brings something unique into puzzle solving. There is an audio file that you must play, which will give you clues, and the file contains a story and all this stuff, and then you got to piece together how to open this using the audio file and the two papers given here, namely a map and what looks like a newspaper article. These two things will come in handy. So if this is a success, and let's say this video gets like 15,000 likes, I can do the second one. There are two puzzles here. One of them being the Bell Witch haunting, and the other being this one over here, the Huntsman. So we're going to do this one, but there are two puzzles here, okay? So leave a like if you definitely want to see the other one. And if you don't, just tell me why in the comments. See what I'm doing here? Okay. So here's the setup, and then it brings you here, and we have the podcast that we're going to play alongside all of this. You know what? I should probably get a pen. Do I have a pen? I do have a pen. Because we're probably going to be circling things, and you know, there's already like a cipher here. You can already tell this is going to come in handy. There's letters and whatnot. Now, before we get into anything, let's just have a look at the box, just so we're not missing any important details that might occur. So here you have three knobs. One has Roman numerals, one has numbers, one has letters. When did it all end? You got a space here, and I guess there's something on the inside. This is a drawer, and then we have symbols here. Also, something I noticed was a little dot here. 1.2.3. So this is like 1, 2, 3 in that order. This side here has a lock on it, and it says future blank, president blank, other men blank, total wagons. Might be something in the story. This we're not going to look at. And this is what I think this and this go together. And yeah, that's it. So let's get started and play this audio. You guys hear that properly? Fire
These
crackling.
woods sure do get dark and cold at night. Good thing we got this fire going.
Good thing.
Looks like it's going to be burning for another 30 minutes or so. Want to hear a campfire story to pass the time?
Might as well.
Let's see. Have you ever heard the story of the Bell witch hauntings? Okay, well, then
This is
here
cool.
goes. I grew up in northern Tennessee, so naturally I heard the story all the time.
Northern Tennessee.
I've heard the story told many different ways, but I'm going to tell it the way my grandpa told it to
Remember,
me.
future president, other
He
men,
first told me this
total
story
wagons.
on a night like this while we were camping. You see, over the years, the stories surrounding these hauntings have become legends in Appalachia. But even at the time in the early 1800s, word spread quickly and captivated people. I even heard that the future 7th president of the United States, Andrew Jackson,
7. Future 7th president. So that's a 7. I'm guessing that'll be here. So we'll just go ahead and put a 7 there and keep going.
future 7th president of the United States, Andrew Jackson, who lived in the area of the hauntings, took 5 other men on a trip to the farm to investigate. On the way to the Bell farm, one of their 2 wagons got stuck in the mud.
Hold on. 752. Those are the clues we're looking for. Yes! Let's go. All right, off to an easy start, I would say. Oh. It looks to be some type of other cipher that we might need. Have a look at that. We got numbers 2, 10, 11, 4, 6, 9, 17, 22. And a bunch of symbols. Nothing on the other side. And this. Oh, there's something here as well. This says body of blank, head of blank, blank gnawing. Body of blank, head of blank, blank gnawing. So there are 3 more words we're going to have to look for. Or listen for, rather.
The Bell farm, one of their 2 wagons got stuck in the mud, which naturally they blamed on the witch. As they camped on the property later that night and sat around a fire much like this one, telling old war stories, one of the men started wildly convulsing. Not much else is known about their visit, but they left the next morning. So something forced these brave war hero tough guys off the property. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to the beginning. It all started in the early 1800s. 1804, if my memory's right. You see, a guy named John Bell outgrew his farm in North Carolina. So he moved his wife and kids to a bigger property in a remote part of Tennessee.
Found a clue for the next one.
It was extremely rural, and a few families lived in the area. But given John's outgoing and friendly personality, he quickly became very popular with the others in the area. And so, over the course of the next decade plus, the growing family settled into their life on the new farm.
What are we looking for? The
John
head?
John and his wife Lucy had 3 more kids.
The body?
Now totaling 9.
9. Oh, 9's
but
the
that
number.
normal, peaceful life was about to change for good. One day, about 13 years after first moving onto the property, John was walking the farm like he did every day. Suddenly, he heard a rustling in his cornfield. He suspected that it was something normal, like a group of turkey hens that roamed the property, or maybe a deer. But what he saw as he pushed through a few rows of corn was anything but normal. Standing in front of him was some abomination that shook him to his core. What he later described seeing was a creature with the body of a dog,
body of a dog,
head of a rabbit.
Head of a rabbit.
That's right.
Body, dog, head, rabbit. That's what we were looking for. Body of a dog, head of rabbit, and blank gnawing. Blank gnawing. Okay.
I mean, walking through a dang cornfield is creepy enough, but just imagine stumbling on that. Anyways, the thing just stared back at him with almost dead eyes. John happened to have his gun on him. I mean, it was rural Tennessee in the 1800s.
1805.
So I reckon everyone had a gun on them most days. So he raised his gun and fired off a shot. But somehow the normally accurate John missed his target. And the thing just took off running out of the field and into the woods. If all that wasn't odd enough, as John gathered himself and walked to where the dog-rabbit thing was, he saw no sign of paw prints or
just want to interject saying, get to river they lived near. Place river name in rec. I guess recording, I don't know. But I'm going to have to listen for a river, I'm guessing. And then here it's got X minus Y plus A, which maybe that has to do with this, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah. Just an advisory tale of caution.
John was a practical man, so he didn't tell anyone about the experience at first.
He's still looking for gnawing.
Chalked it up to something odd, but explainable. That day would mark the day that life went from normal to anything but normal. The second set of odd occurrences started a few months after the incident in the cornfield. Two of the Bell daughters and one son were in the family living room when they heard knocking on the outside of the house. Assuming it was a neighbor, they got up to see who it was. But all at once, the knocking started all around the outside of the house. Almost like whoever was doing it was circling around the house and knocking. This knocking continued for days. And every time the family got up to investigate by looking through a window or walking outside, the knocking stopped and they saw no one. Again, just like with the cornfield incident, there were no footprints or signs that anyone had been outside the house. Like I said before, John was practical and well-respected. So he told his wife and kids not to mention anything about this to anyone outside the family.
Did I miss something?
He was hoping that this must just be a
Did I miss the gnawing of something? Oh, God, I don't know.
practical joke. Whoever was doing it would get caught eventually, so he didn't want whoever was doing it to be tipped off. But John and the family never caught anybody knocking on the outside of the house. The knocking incidents stopped abruptly one Sunday in May of 1818. However, this night would start a third set of even weirder happenings. That night, as the Bell boys slept in their shared bedroom, they were awoken by what sounded like rats gnawing at their bedposts.
Rats. So we have dog, rabbit, rats. Now, here's what I'm thinking right off the bat. There are words here. We see rabbit, so maybe we're looking for something. So if we got, dog is T. So T. What are we looking for? Rabbit and rats. Here's rat. That's an N. Rabbit. E-T-E-N. 10. 10. Is that for the Roman numeral 10, perhaps? Our first number on this side? All right, let's keep listening.
It was rural Tennessee, so rats were everywhere. So they tried to just ignore it and
This
go
is
back
cool.
to bed. But the sounds just got louder and louder. So the boys could not just sleep through it. They got up and looked at the bedposts. But as soon as they did, the noises just stopped. And the bedposts
We're looking for the river,
completely
too.
undisturbed.
The name of the river.
So they got back into bed. And as soon as they closed their eyes, the gnawing noises started up again. But this time the noises were louder and faster. This continued all night and for the next 5 days. Just as the boys were somehow growing more accustomed to the noises, on the 6th night, the rat gnawing noises were accompanied by a faint, whispering voice of an old woman who seemed to be very quietly singing hymns. This faint singing, accompanied by the rats gnawing, continued for several days, with the whisperers progressively becoming more aggressive, I guess you'd say. John reiterated to his kids that they need to keep this information inside the family. But one night, one of the daughters was asleep in her bed and woke to what felt like someone pulling her hair and punching her in the arms.
Weird.
Whoever or whatever was doing this to her kept this up until the daughter just started screaming. John burst through the door and abruptly the hair pulling and punching stopped. After John saw the look on his daughter's face, along with her disheveled hair and welts on her arms, John broke his vow of silence. John reluctantly started sharing his story with his neighbors. The Bells farm was nestled along the Red River, which was just off the Cumberland River in a town actually called
Red River, off the Cumberland River. There's the Cumberland. There's the Red River. Get to the river they live near. Place river name in rec. Oh, look at this. Can I get this out of here? All right, we had to actually pause the video because my team informed me that I was missing something. So unbeknownst to me, there was something missing. Now, so what was missing was these two little things here, these little discs. Apparently they were supposed to come with a puzzle. They did not when I received it. So I would have been looking for hours. So really happy my team caught that before we kept going. These are going to be used. So let's have a look at them real quick. There's this, it has arrows on it, and there's this. So it's been a few days since I last had a look at this. Been just literally sitting at my desk for like 5 days now. And so he sent me a package. We just received it. This came in. Also, papers which I had already printed, by the way, but now we have like, I guess, cleaner versions, so we'll go with that. And I'm trying to just wrap my head around where exactly it is we were. I know that we had to find the name of the lake. Why do we have to find the name of the lake? Hold on. Yeah, I know you guys know, but I'm at a loss right now, so sorry about that. A little confused. Right, here we got 10. What was 10 from? Oh, we got 10 from this, so deciphering that, yes. Then, I don't know, it was on the map. Oh yeah, get to the river they lived near, place river name in rec. It was Red River, and then we have X minus Y plus A. So, again, this is where we were. I don't even know where we were audio-wise.
John broke his vow of silence. John reluctantly started sharing his story with his neighbors. The Bell's farm was nestled along the Red River.
Yes.
Which was just off the Cumberland River in a town actually called Red River.
Ah, okay. There's the Cumberland River. There's Red River. I don't know if that's the town or the river, but I think that's the river. Cumberland River, Tennessee River. My guess is that here is the Red River. Now it says place river name in rec. Now prior to this, I thought rec might have meant recording or something, but now I realize it is rec as in rectangle. So we place the river name in rec. Okay. Oh, the formula here was x minus y plus a. X is over here. 17, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Y is 15. Hold on, let me write this down. Is 15. X is... Yeah, but it's 15, but also... Oh, the x-axis and the y-axis. But what's a? How do I know it's 15 and not 50... This is confusing to me because like 56 is here and 57 is here. What's this? Because that says 53. 50... What? 56, 57. Is it 56.5? Like what is it? I'm pretty confused here because I don't exactly know what they're pointing to. So I think Y is 15 because it's kind of pointing to this square. Wait, what if I have to draw the line out? That's 11. 11, 12. So this is 12. 15. I guess 55, 56, 57. This is 55. So what is that? X minus Y. So that would be 55 minus 15, which is 40, plus 12, which is 52. 52. Is that a number we have here? It is 52. We place 52 in the middle. We have 10, 52. Nice. Okay, good. So I'm guessing this will be the last piece, obviously, for the letters here, and then we should be able to open it. Let's have a listen.
The people of Red River had grown to love John and the family, so naturally they wanted to do whatever they could to help the family. In fact, one night, a neighbor spent the night at the house to see or hear firsthand what the Bell family was experiencing. And in fact, that neighbor did experience the same insane things that John had talked about. He heard the rats gnawing and the old woman softly singing hymns. He was so terrified that he left the next morning and never returned to the house. Other neighbors believed John as well, but assumed that one of the kids wanted attention and somehow orchestrated the whole thing. So, more neighbors stayed at the house overnight to try to prove that someone in the family was responsible for the happenings. Every time a visiting neighbor reported the same crazy things. None of the kids or family members were unaccounted for when they happened. So the kids could not have been responsible. Gradually, people started to notice alarming changes in John. He just seemed to be a shell of
There's
himself.
also this here.
Normally engaging and friendly, he now kind of looked at you with a far-off look, as if he just wasn't all there. Maybe it was the lack of sleep or the constant stress. People grew very concerned for John. Up until that point, John had seen that creature with the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. And they heard all these terrifying noises, but they had never seen a person that was responsible for these events. That all changed one day.
So when did it all
As one
end?
of the other daughters,
What
named
day?
Betsy, walked out of their house to gather some eggs from the barn. As she walked towards the barn, she saw someone to her side that she had not noticed before. She was, of course, startled, but she assumed that the person was a neighbor. The person walked towards the house that Betsy had just left. As Betsy peered over at the person, she saw a woman in a long black dress with a bonnet on her head, walking with her head down. Again, Betsy thought this must be a neighbor. So she called out and waved, but the woman just kept walking slowly to the house. Cautiously, Betsy started following the woman, studying her as she approached the woman from behind.
I think I got to use this in here, obviously.
She got about 5 feet from the woman and said, "Hello," in a louder voice. Just then, the woman stopped, threw off her bonnet, and started pulling at her hair. Betsy was horrified to see mats of hair falling from the woman's hands and onto the ground. So, terrified Betsy took off running past the woman and back towards the house, never looking back. Frantically, she burst through the front door and closed it. One other sister and a brother were home at the time, and they were alarmed by their sister's demeanor. Betsy somehow stammered and stumbled out some sentences telling them what she saw. The brother walked quickly to the window, and he saw this woman in black put her bonnet back on and walk slowly towards the house. After everything they'd been through, he was sick and tired of whatever was haunting his family, so he ran and got a rifle. By the time he got back, the woman was now walking around
Listen
towards
for the
back
days.
of the house. But now she was joined by
That's what we're gonna need here.
small children dressed in black, slowly walking behind the woman. The Bell son burst through the back door of the house and raised his gun to shoot a warning shot. When he fired that shot, the woman and the kids took off running to the woods at a speed that didn't seem human. When they got to the wood line, they each climbed a different tree. After a brief pause, the 4 trees that they climbed started to sway back and forth, and 4 whispering voices were coming from the trees. It started to get louder and louder as the swaying intensified. About a minute into all of this, the trees were swaying so hard and fast that it seemed like the giant trunks of the trees would snap any second, and the voices were almost deafening. However, all in unison, the swaying and the voices stopped. The sun just stood there and stared at the woods.
There's 3 minutes left on this.
For several minutes before running back into the house to check on his sisters, who also witnessed this event from one of the back windows. Now, by October of 1820, John was not doing well.
October.
That's putting it mildly. He spent most of his days just laying in bed, expressionless, and staring up at the ceiling. He barely ate or drank, and the few times he did get up and walk around, he'd have strange, unnatural convulsions.
We're looking for the day again, so.
He'd just suddenly lose all control of his body and start convulsing on the floor, with his limbs contorting in unnatural positions. These would last a few minutes, and then he would return to normal and walk back to his bedroom, where he just returned to looking up at the ceiling. Clearly, whatever was haunting him was taking its toll on John the most. 9 days before Christmas, John's wife Lucy came to the bedroom to check on John. But he was not moving at all. He was breathing, but other than that, there was no sign that he was still alive. Worried for her husband, she
9 days before Christmas, so that makes it the 14th?
for one of their sons and told him to look in the medicine cabinet for something to help John. The son dashed to the cabinet and opened it up, but all of the medicine was gone, except for one bottle
when
of
did it all
smoky
end?
dark liquid that no one had ever seen before. As they studied the mysterious vial of liquid, they heard a faint, crackling voice say, "That's what I gave to the old man to help him sleep." Horrified at the sound of the voice, Lucy threw the vial of liquid into the fireplace. When the vial broke in the fire, a huge flame shot up from the chimney. The next day, John was unfortunately discovered dead in his bed. Once he died, all the strange things that haunted the family instantly stopped. To this day, no one's sure what or who was haunting the Bell family. Many think that whatever was haunting the family originated from a cave that was located on the Bell's property. But there have been no credible hauntings in the area since the death of John Bell. Dang, man, you look a little pale. Well, looks like the fire is just about burned out.
15? Did I miss something?
Hopefully, you get to fall asleep tonight. Slowly walking behind the woman. Well, that's putting it mildly. He spent most of his days just laying in bed, expressionless, and staring up at the ceiling. He barely ate or drank, and the few times he did get up and walk around, he'd have strange, unnatural convulsions. He'd just suddenly lose all control of his body and start convulsing on the floor, with his limbs contorting in unnatural positions. These would last a few minutes, and then he would return to normal and walk back to his bedroom.
Sorry, I gotta...
Where he just returned to looking up at the ceiling. Clearly, whatever was haunting them was taking its toll on John the most. 9 days before Christmas, John's wife Lucy came to the bedroom to check on John. But he was not moving at all. He was breathing, but other than that, there was no sign that he was still alive. Worried for her husband, she called for one of their sons and told him. John's wife Lucy came to the bedroom to check on John.
Wait, what?
Was taking its toll on John the most. 9 days before Christmas,
Oh, that's the 16th.
John's wife Lucy came to the bedroom to check on John.
+1, that's 17. We have a 17 here. Okay. Sorry about that. 17. Nice. So 17. If 17 goes here, it is this symbol here. That one where my thumb is right there. I don't know what that means. Is there a symbol here? These are all letters. Oh, here. Oh! Okay. And if that's that, that symbol is a Y. If you use that here, so we put this to Y. And, yeah. Let's go. Not sure what I'm looking at here. Is that a bat? Is that like a demon? Is that what we're looking at? Like a demon? Oh, it's like some type of demon. I think. That's got to be it. Well, that's the token for that side. There is another puzzle on the other side, but I think we're going to leave it at that. Like I said, if this video gets 15,000 likes, I will do the other one if you guys want to support this project. Also, the Cabinet of Curiosities. I believe the company's Legends and Lore. I've left the link below. You guys can check it out for yourselves. Well, hot dang, there you go. That is one of 2 puzzles done in the Cabinet of Curiosities. Quite enjoyable. Obviously a little bummed that I had to stop mid-solve. Not something I wanted to do, but at the same time, it kind of feels good to take a break from a puzzle and come back to it. I was a little discombobulated when I did return because I didn't know quite where we were at, but we ended up solving it. And I thought, you know, there's so many puzzles that are out there that are sort of repeating the same formulas and methods for solves. So having an audio track play alongside that gives you clues, I thought was just a really interesting way of, you know, bringing you more clues for the puzzle. I'd just never seen it before. And I'd like to see more things like that in the future. So if you're a puzzle creator out there making stuff, you know, think outside the box. This is a great way of doing that. Also, don't forget to check out First.shop if you want to cop these playing cards that I was playing with the entire time. Those are available there. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.